FIR. Pastor Larry Likens says Thomas Akers wanted this day for a long time and was actually afraid his execution might be stopped. Likens, who has been counseling Akers for 3 months and was with him just minutes before he was executed, says the 31-year-old man was sorry for beating a Roanoke man to death with a baseball bat.
Tell the people that was witnessing his execution that he had invited Jesus Christ into his life. The second thing he wanted to do was tell his mother how much he loved him, and his grandmother and his sister. Then he wanted to thank my wife and I for being there with him and helping him find the Lord. And the last thing he was going to do was ask the family of Wesley Smith to forgive him.
Akers shared his last meal of pizza, french fries, and banana pudding with Likens. He was executed after 2 courts declined to grant him a stay, and Governor Gilmore turned down a clemency request. Reporting WFIR News, I'm Toni Brandon. Before his execution, Thomas Akers first thanked the Lord for coming into his life and said he loves all of his family and hopes that the victim's family would forgive him, and if not, he knows the Lord has. Pastor Larry Likens, Akers' spiritual advisor, says he was amazingly calm in the final hours. Likens talks about his final prayer for Akers.
I just prayed a very brief prayer, and my final statements to him were, Tommy, I love you, and by the help and grace of God, I will see you again in a land where the sun never sets and troubles never come.
He said Akers' response was,
he said, I love you, and I'll meet you.
Earlier in the day, Akers was visited by his mother, grandmother, wife, and a family friend. He is the first person to be executed this year. Akers and his cousin, Timothy Martin, fatally beat Wesley Smith in 1998. Martin is now serving a life sentence. Reporting WFIR News, I'm Toni Brandon.
Thomas Akers was very calm and said he hopes the victim's family has forgiven him. If not, he said he knows the Lord has. Akers was visited by his mother, grandmother, spiritual advisor, wife, and a family friend. Akers had dinner with Pastor Larry Likens, who described him as rambunctious and ready for this day. He is the first person to be executed this year. The last execution here took place in December. Akers and his cousin Timothy Martin beat Wesley Smith to death with an aluminum baseball bat in Franklin County in 1998. Martin is now serving a life sentence. Reporting from Greensville Correctional Center, I'm Toni Brandon.
State Tax Commissioner Arthur Roth says Rich never paid taxes on money he made.
The new WFIR Good Afternoon. I'm Toni Brandon. It's mostly sunny and 81 degrees. WFIR News Time is 2:29. Charges against 2 17-year-olds arrested for beating a counselor at the Arcadia Wilderness Academy and stealing the academy's vehicle will go to a grand jury. Glenn Waltman reports.
Brandon Whittle and Jerome Hayes both are facing felony charges of malicious wounding and vehicle theft, along with 1 conspiracy charge apiece. Counselor David Allen Hypes testified he was beaten with a pipe, breaking his nose, fracturing his eye socket, and leaving him with stitches in 3 places on his head. The vehicle was recovered in Martinsville, where the teens were found hiding in an apartment closet. The malicious wounding charge was dismissed against the 13-year-old in the vehicle. However, he will face a vehicle theft charge. Reporting from the Botetourt County Juvenile and Domestic Relations Courthouse, I'm Glenn Waltman, WFIR Radio News.
Students at Hollins University are protesting in an unusual way to get the attention of the administration. Some are nude and have painted their bodies with red paint to bring to the administration's attention what they say are issues which need to be addressed, such as underpaid maintenance and housekeeping staff, the underrepresentation of a diverse community, and a lack of communication between students and administrators. Christine Chappelle explains what the group want to accomplish.
What we hope to accomplish is to let students know that their voices can and will be heard if they do decide to do that, and to let them know that this is an environment where we can speak out.
Some students are critical of Janet Rasmussen, the school's current president. Rasmussen recently stepped down, and board member Walter Rugaber, who agreed to serve as interim president, will take over Rasmussen's duties right after graduation. The outgoing president of Virginia Western Community College encourages the next president to try to build local support for the college. Charles Downs told listeners this morning on WFIR he thinks Robert Sandel should build financial support from individuals as well as businesses.
The next person in this seat ought to look for developing a foundation for the college, a strong base of local support that can help for scholarships and develop the college.
Downs says he plans to take a year off and will return to teaching. Downs' successor is Robert Sandel, who is currently president of a community college in Big Stone Gap, Virginia. In October, the State Health Department will send women considering abortion an illustrated booklet with detailed information about human fetuses. The booklets are part of a new 24-hour waiting requirement passed by the General Assembly. They'll cost about $100,000 to develop, not including staff salaries. Legislation passed this session specifically requires abortion providers to make information about fetuses and community service available. Watch out today if you're traveling in Salem. Part of the Lynchburg Turnpike is closed. Melinda Payne with the city's Public Information Office says it's a safety matter.
We have limitations with the capacity of vehicles that can travel over the weight capacity. So we're needing to upgrade that bridge, and it will be closed beginning tomorrow until September. It's about a 4-month project.
Payne says the city recommends travelers avoid Lynchburg Turnpike and get off on Salem Turnpike, exiting at Melrose into Salem or taking Shenandoah. She adds recent inspections showed the bridge needed more immediate repairs than they thought. WFIR News Time is 2:32. The forecast from Patrick Evans and the new WFIR, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms later today with a low of 50 to 55. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high in the lower 80s. I'm Toni Brandon for News Talk 960, the new WFIR, Roanoke's local news and weather station. Depend on it.